Good morning, you bunch of drunks.
Hey, Republicans! Welcome to the show.
I took a rare amount of time, extra time, to get into it with a poor, butthurt hipster regarding Hamilton, the musical, which as a piece of art I like, but as a historical record, I don't. And it's not a historical record. It is a made-up story around Alexander Hamilton, and these people can't separate the two. They believe instead of actually reading about him, they're just going to listen to the soundtrack and get their info from there.
Right.
And so when you attack Alexander Hamilton, which I love doing, they get all upset because they think you're attacking the musical. It's the society we live in now with the idiot hipsters out there who can't separate it and can't figure it out. But I'll follow up at the 7 o'clock hour on that because it'll be fun to do. Anytime I can double back and kill Alexander Hamilton again, I will. Dr. Tobler.
Gentlemen, we're about to enter the fascinating sphere of medicine.
From the cave, filled with water, weaponry, and all kinds of love, Dr. Randy Tobler.
Good morning. Hey, Dr. Tobler, you know, I mean, you're an artist of sorts, correct?
A bit. Yeah, I guess.
Well, because, you know, my son and I, Aiden, is 12. He really loves the soundtrack to Hamilton. I actually do, too. I think it's very entertaining. I think it's very good. And I've already given him my Alexander Hamilton speech, and then we move on and listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah, and then we talk about founding fathers that were not big government founding fathers, right?
Right, exactly.
We go into that vamp because
Yeah.
that's what they need to learn. Hamilton was really the one that I think was the most anti-small r Republican of all the founding fathers. So, yeah, good art, and probably will come to the Fox sooner or later, and it'll be fun to watch it as pure art, but that's where it ends. It's not a surprise that the people that called out Mike Pence and sort of tried to disgrace and humiliate him during a performance of Hamilton, I mean, they are of the ilk that will be supporting the type that are boycotting the inauguration of Donald Trump.
Right, exactly, and yeah,
Absolutely.
again, if when it comes to St. Louis, I definitely will see it because I know my son likes it, and then I'll tell him afterwards. I'll reiterate that they would never have made a musical about Madison, and then I'll tell him why.
You're right.
That's all I'm saying.
This whole thing on Lewis reminds me of sort of like, was there some kind of an immunization, some kind of a secret shot that was given by Martin Luther King and everyone to all of his civil rights buddies and, all of the people that are protected minorities? We're going to call them the loyal, protected class opposition for the next 4 to 8 years, right? Because it seems like if you've done something great in your life and if you're a protected class, you are forever vaccinated. You are immune against any criticism.
Yeah, well, and here's the problem. And I normally, like, for instance, I resist trying to, like, for instance, yesterday, I was going to try to see if I could speculate what Martin Luther King would be today. Or I'm not going to make the claim that he'd be a Republican or a conservative. I don't know. But if you're going to go ahead and ask MLK's son, for instance, what, Donald Trump would say to what Martin Luther King would say to Donald Trump, I'll go there with you, and I'd probably say that, hey, keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track. The progressive liberals are not.
Well, you're right. I mean, I think Martin Luther King was a man dealing with the facts of the time. And the difference between him and the people dealing with the facts at the time now are that there really is not a real, in the real universe, the things that we can touch and see and feel, not just the delusional things that exist in people's minds. But at the time, it was a real problem, and he dealt with it in a very common sense and, of course, civilly disobedient but absolutely nonviolent way. He would be He was rolling over in his grave when he sees how coarse the modern so-called civil rights movement is, with people interrupting folks, Sunday morning brunches, and people violently acting out and shouting out against police officers and others in authority. And the facts are absolutely different. I think you're right. MLK would be rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, and if they're going to bring it up, then we'll talk about it. Otherwise, stop trying to make it seem like Martin Luther King would be wagging his finger at Donald Trump. There'd be nothing he'd be wagging his finger about. I would imagine he would praise him from that level. He certainly wouldn't appreciate Bill Clinton suggesting openly and by mouth that we hand over Detroit to Syrian refugees. So
that's right. The satellite of Dearborn, right? I mean, it's so sad. It's just so sad.
No doubt, buddy. So, okay, well, listen, man, I'm going to be, I guess, I'll be happy to call into your show on Saturday.
I was going to ask you. Yeah, because I took the day off to watch it.
Okay.
So wave at the camera if it comes your way.
Right.
I'm looking for you. And then we get a real little reprise and a little summary on the program Saturday morning.
That sounds good. I'll get in touch with Kelly and we'll make sure it happens. And I'll
super good.
My people will talk to your people, Dr. Tobler.
Oh, absolutely. Watch out for all the protesters up there. Don't get caught up in it.
Oh, no. I mean, I would not want to come near the stink bomb or the whoopee cushion that they all have serious Plain O'Keefe has exposed.
Are the pink bunnies or whatever they call themselves, the pussycats.
Right.
I don't know.
All right, buddy. See you Saturday.
We'll see you around.